Good evening. Good evening. I call to order the March 10th, 2026 meeting of the Metuchen Board of Education. Please stand for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mrs. Alievich, notice of the meeting, please.
I hereby make the statement to indicate compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, known as Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of New Jersey, 1975, which became effective 90 days after enactment, January 19, 1976. Notice of this meeting was given by providing the location, time, and date of this meeting, and posting of the same on the front Board of Education offices, by delivering copies to the Borough Hall and the Metuchen Public Library, the Home News and Tribune, and by filing a copy with the Borough Clerk as prescribed by this law.
Thank you. Could you give us a roll call, please?
Mr. Bob.
Here.
Ms. Cheatham.
Here.
Mr. Derflinger.
Here.
Mr. Glassberg.
Here.
Dr. Johnson Marcus.
I'm here.
Ms. Colleen.
She is informed us she'll be absent today.
Thank you. Ms. Michaels Lamorte is not here.
Okay.
Dr. Spigner.
Here.
Mr. Suss.
Here.
Ms. Zimmerman.
Here. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mrs. Alievich. Dr. Caputo, we've got all kinds of good stuff today.
We do. We'll start with a preview of our spring musical. It's this weekend. The MHS Footlighters will present the musical Shrek on Friday, March 13th, Saturday, March 14th, and Sunday, March 15th. Tickets are available at mhsfootlighters.org or at the door of the performance. In Shrek, a group of unlikely heroes discovered what it means to be authentically themselves. Tonight, seniors Ryan Stein, who plays Shrek, Miles Gordon, who plays Donkey, and Manali Weller, who plays Fiona, will sing an excerpt from the show performing the song, Who I'd Be.
Guess I'd be a hero with sword and armor clashing, looking semi-dashing, a shield within my grip. Or else I'd be a Viking and live a life of daring while smelling like a herring. Upon a Viking ship I'd sail away, I'd see the world, I'd reach the farthest reaches. I'd feel the wind, I'd taste the salt and sea, and maybe storm some beaches. That's who I'd be. That's who I'd be. Or I could be a poet and write a different story, one that tells of glory and wipes away the lies. And to the skies I'd throw it. The stars would do the telling, the moon would help with spelling, and night would dark the eyes. I'd write a verse, recite a joke with wit and perfect timing. I'd share my heart, confess the things I yearn, and do it all while rhyming. But we all learn, but we all learn. An ogre always hides, an ogre's fate is known. An ogre always stays in the dark and all alone. So yes, I'd be a hero, and if my wish were granted, life would be enchanted, or so the stories say. Of course I'd be a hero, and I would scale a tower to save a hothouse flower and carry her away. But standing guard would be a beast, I'd somehow overwhelm it. I'd get the girl, I'd take her breath, and I'd remove my helmet. We'd stand and stare, stars ascending, we'd share a kiss, I'd find my destiny. I'd have a hero's ending, a perfect happy ending. That's how it would be, a big bright beautiful world.
ogre always hides, an ogre's fate is known. An ogre always stays in the dark.
You're all alone.
All alone, and I know
Yes,
he'll appear.
And if my
'Cause
wish
there
were
are
granted,
rules
oh,
and
like
there
the
are
Phoenix, so the story
strictures.
say.
I
Of course
believe
I'd
the
be
story
like
outside
how
me.
it
I
say
can't
what was
avoid.
a perfect happy ending. That's how it should be.
Thank you so much.
Ryan Miles Manali, thank you so much. Just beautiful. So, Ms. Krumholtz, thank you for being here tonight as well. So again, Shrek right here at Metuchen High School, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon. Tickets, mhsfootlighters.org, or you can buy them at the door. Come out and see our talented actors and singers in Shrek this weekend. Thank you guys so much.
Wonderful. Always lovely to have these musical performances.
Yes.
Next up, we have even more exciting
We
stuff.
do. We'll
love
segue
it.
right. Yep, we'll segue right into our
Jam-packed agenda.
winter champs. So 3 times a year after the fall, winter, and spring, hopefully, we have champions. And tonight we have a lot of champions.
Yes.
Mr. Cathcart, I'll ask you up to the podium. As Mr. Cathcart makes his way to the podium, what we'll do is we'll ask the athletes to form on this side. You can see when you'll be coming up next. And we'll ask you to come in front with your certificates that Ms. Alievich gave you. Oh, the coaches have them. Great. Excellent. Thank you. Mr. Cathcart.
First of all, as always, thank you for having us here tonight. It's always a great honor. A really outstanding winter season, as you're about to hear. Some outstanding performances, some outstanding records, and obviously not only are our records, but also on their grade books. So these are very intelligent athletes, most of them on the high honor roll or honor roll. And again, if they can't do it in the classroom, you can't do it on the field, the court, or in the pool. So I'd like to start with our girls track team, and Coach Holleran and team, please come up front.
Okay. I want to start by thanking the Board of Ed for having us here tonight to recognize this extraordinary group of young athletes. We're here tonight to honor them as a team for winning the state Group 1 Central Jersey sectional title. We also have some individual sectional champions as well as state Group 1 champions. Before I introduce them, I'd just like to say a little bit about our sport, our team, just for a second. Winter track is definitely a unique sport in terms of what we have to deal with on a daily basis in terms of weather conditions. And this winter has been almost like none other. At the end of January, we had extreme cold through December and then early January. And then at the end of January, we got hammered with a storm followed by extremely frigid conditions, which meant the snow never melted. And that, in our sport, meant we had to get creative. And I want to give our athletes a ton of credit in that they never complained, they kept showing up, ready to work, ready to support each other, and ready to represent themselves, our team, and our community with pride every step of the way. All of that work ultimately led them to our sectional championship and individuals winning some pretty special things individually as well. But that wouldn't happen without their tremendous work ethic, their resilience, and their dedication. And I want to thank them for that, and they really should be honored for that. I'll name some of our kids now, and I know we have a couple that are not here, but I'll still name all athletes that competed at our sectional championship, and I'll also, along the way, say any highlights that individual honors that they received. Not here tonight, Ella Anderson. Ella is a distance runner. She's all conference, all division, and she's a Meet of Champions qualifier in the 1600. Had a great season. Tremendous kid. Lucy Ongteko, and you can step forward. Lucy Ongteko. Lucy is all blue division. She's a distance runner for us. Khadijah Ba. Khadijah was all conference, all division. She's all conference in the 4x4, and I'll highlight the 4x4 maybe again at the end. But Khadijah's also a tremendous hurdler who was top 3 in the sectional. Sabrina Candell, I'll talk more about her in a little bit, but Sabrina had a tremendous season, focusing on the 800 and the 1600, and in our 4x4 did a tremendous job for us this year in so many areas, and I'll talk a little bit more about her in a second. Amber Murray. Amber is a distance runner for us, and she's all division. Had a great year, really got her time down a lot in the 3200, tremendous worker. Rose Surgeon, I'll talk more about Rose in a minute, but Rose had an outstanding season, stepping out of her comfort zone to go to the 800 from the 400 and the shorter sprints. I'll highlight her a little bit more in a minute. McKenna Bruns, I'll talk about her more in a minute too, but she's there for now, but she'll get a little more attention in a little bit. If you follow us on X, then you've heard about her. Lola Petro, please step forward. Lola is a great senior leader for us. She's a pole vaulter, and very proud of her. She's all division this winter. Julia Kelly. Julia Kelly is a junior, and she's a sectional champion in the 55 hurdles. Had a great season, dropped her time by so much, and she's all division. Ella Regan, a great senior leader for us. She's a high jumper, had a really good year, consistently clearing 4.8, and just a great worker, great kid, all division. Olivia Irving. Olivia is a sophomore, and she really came on strong at the end of the season, and at the end of the season also was willing to go into the high jump, and she actually ended up placing at the sectionals, qualifying for the state group meet, to our surprise. And I mean, she's tall, so you'd think she could high jump, but it takes a lot more than just being tall, and she's got it. So proud of her. She had a really good winter. Jordy Woods. Jordy's a distance runner for us and had a great year, tremendous worker, tremendous kid. Taylor Zanetto. Taylor had a great year. She's all division. She's a distance runner for us, qualified for the state group meet from the sectionals, had a really great year. We also have shot putters who aren't here right now, Jocelyn Branch, Maddie Sinclair, and Marita DeFino, who made an impact on our team in the throws. Now I'll just highlight a little bit more. I want to highlight again Julia Kelly. Step forward one more time. Julia Kelly, individual sectional champion in the 55 hurdles. Great job, Julia. Also individual sectional champion Rose Surgeon in the 800 meters. And again, that's a new event for her. Really proud of her in that for that. McKenna Bruns. McKenna Bruns, what a year this girl had. She is the sectional champion in the 400. She is the state Group 1 champion in the 400. She also placed third in the 55 dash. She is our school record holder now in the indoor 400, the indoor 200. She qualified for the Meet of Champions last week and dropped her time again, breaking her own school record for about the third time this season. She'll be running at the indoor nationals on Friday in the 400. Tremendous worker. Those things don't happen with just talent. It comes with a lot of work and a lot of self-belief, and excited for what's to come, but great, outstanding, unbelievable season for McKenna Bruns. And she was also, like I said, the state Group 1 champion in the 400. I want to highlight our 4x4. Our 4x4, please step forward. That's Khadijah Ba, Sabrina Candell, Rose Surgeon, and McKenna Bruns. This group won everything they could win this year. They are the GMC 4x4 champions, they are the sectional champions 4x4, and they're the state Group 1 champions. And they ran at the Meet of Champions the other day on Sunday. Tremendous work by these 4 athletes. Couldn't be prouder of our team. They are truly extraordinary, and I'm lucky to know them, work with them, and help them grow. Thank you for honoring them. Thank you very much. Good job, girls.
Congratulations.
One of the best parts about all of this is the fact that not only are they great runners, but there are field hockey players, soccer players, softball players in the mix of all of that. So not only are they great runners, but they're great athletes also. So a lot of multi-sport athletes in that group. I would like to now bring up our boys basketball team, who had a really outstanding season. And luckily, we're able to get a couple of games in our new home. So we thank the Board of Education for that. It was really a great honor to get in there and play. So thank you so much for that.
We move a little slow. We have a lot of guys on crutches.
It seems like it was a rough interview.
They're banged up at the end.
Oh, man. They gave it their all.
It's an ACL.
Got that for them? All right, good. I don't think Drew's here. So, first of all, thank you, Mr. Cathcart. Great leadership with the athletic department. I want to thank the Board of Education for honoring us here tonight. Dr. Caputo, and my actual boss on the other side of work, Brian Glassberg, who's been with us through the whole process of adding the gym and always answers all of my questions, whatever day or time it is about the gym and the facility. I want to honor this group of guys, tell you a little bit about them and our season. So this team in front of you is the second all-time winningest team by season record. They won 24 games, only second to one other team who won 25 games in school history for a season. So that's pretty impressive. This is the first year we've ever been in the white division as a school, and we not only won our side of the white division, the white national, but we were the overall white division champions. In addition to that, we had 3 all-division players. Colin Goronsky, raise your hand. Matt Smith here to my left, all right, raise your crutch, and then Cameron Hayes-Dorina. Our coaching staff, and I always say that, our coaching staff, not just me, but our coaching staff all the way down the end to my right and myself, we were Coach of the Year in the white division. So a really nice honor that we got as a group. Very lucky to have a fantastic staff, and you can see the fact that the 4 of us are all here tonight. You see their dedication and pride. So a little bit about high school basketball in today's form. Most kids run away from any difficult situation, especially in high school basketball. They go to a Catholic school, a prep school, to try to find a better situation. This group of young men who's standing in front of you decided to run to a difficult situation and handle adversity, and came in, especially the current seniors, now came in with a goal in mind of changing a culture, setting a standard, and they did, right? The last 2 seasons, we were 44-13, which is an incredible feat, and it all is thanks to the hard work and dedication of the 4. We're missing 1 player here tonight, but the gentlemen in front of you who've done a tremendous job. Want to point out a couple other little things. Not only did we have white division winners, but we had yet another 1,000-point scorer in the school's history in Cameron Hayes-Dorina, which is an incredible feat. Cameron, you could raise your hand. That's you know. So he adds his name to the banner, and many months ago, Matt, who's standing to my left, said in a group huddle that this was a special group and a special team. And when he said that, you know, the guys kind of looked at them, paused for a second, and everybody cheered. And at that moment, I don't know if we knew the story that would take place the rest of the year, but Matt was prophetic when he said that, and it came to fruition, and we won a lot of games, and this is truly one of the best teams in Metuchen High School history. They'll put a banner up in the new gym, the first banner, and it's just a testament to these guys right here, and you see, right, this is like the all-surgery team. I think in told after Friday, this group of men will have, if we count only one surgery, if I'm correct, so 6 surgeries amongst, unless I'm missing somebody. But you could see a group of young men who give everything they have in everything that they do, and it really, really paid off. Younger guys, we don't need any more surgeries. We're good, so stay out of the doctor's office. But an incredible group of young men who did everything they could this year, fell a little short in some of our goals, but just a fantastic season, and thank you very much for honoring them, and let's just give one more round of applause for these guys. Lead us one last time, Maddie. No more surgeries. No more surgeries.
Actually, along with Cam this year, we actually had 2,000-point scorers, and Vicky Zanecki for our girls team also scored 1,000 points. That's pretty incredible to have 2 athletes in the same year score their 1,000th point, so congratulations to her also. I'm going to ask the girls swim team please to come front, and Coach Thomas.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for letting us be here tonight. I'll keep it moving along. This is the second year the girls' team have won the white division, which is generally, as anyone knows, white. I know Kelly's been in the red too, so generally the big schools, and that was a good accomplishment. Probably our biggest accomplishment was returning second place in the GMC to East Brunswick, which is a powerhouse, but edging out South Brunswick, J.P. Stevens, North Brunswick, the bigger schools. But we do have talent. We do have talent. I'll run through the girls, tell a little bit about them quickly, and we'll go from there. When I call your name, just step forward. I'll just go by first name. Karen, tremendous asset to the team. Will swim anything. But predominantly, she went into the backstroke, okay, and we kept her in the 500. She's broken all those times. She's bearing down on some records, I know the way she looks at records. She swims all year long. I know she's in the play. She's a busy girl. So, Karen, tremendous year, a tremendous person to have on the team. Karen, okay. All right, next person, Lily. Lily swims for Scarlet, and I don't know if you know anything about club swimming. Sometimes it's not easy to get, they swim all year round, okay? So to get her sometime, I know her coach, Tom, I known him for a long time, and she's been figured out with her dad and mom how to get here. She does her X number of practices. She gets her for helps us in meets, and not easy to do. It's a tight schedule, and they're very tough on some of those Y programs and club swimming. But they have to work with the coaches. I know all the coaches, almost all the coaches around, so I can kind of talk to them and we can work it out. But Lily, great job, white division, as well as Karen was too, GMC as well. What Karen did do is this year she won the 500 freestyle in the GMC, which is quite an accomplishment. So great job, Lily. I'll give you a little clap for that one. Okay. And Lily, you're chasing someone whose record is very dear to me, Bridget Thomas. But I do want you to get it. You have 3 years to do that, so I think you can do that. She had a 5:06. She needs a 5:01. So Lily, keep it going. Next, Ashley's not here. Ashley's a senior. Chen, great job for us over the years. Isabella, step forward, Isabella, or Izzy. Okay. Gives you that look again, that tough look. Izzy is a competitor. I will put her in multiple events. She likes to fly the most, but I'll put her in some IM. I'll put her in the 200 free, and she always is a good gamer for us. And she is a feisty young lady, and I like the rapport we have, and it's okay as I get a glare now, as you can see that glare. But Isabel, thanks for a tremendous season, and keep me honest, okay? Oh, I almost forgot. Coach Youngman back there. Hi, Julie. Okay. She keeps me grounded when I get a little crazy, okay? So thank you, Julie, for that. Evelyn, come forward, Evelyn. Freshman, multiple talents. I haven't figured out everywhere to put her yet. She can do any stroke, okay? And she gives me the look like maybe I can't, but you can. She's a very good swimmer. Evelyn does a great job. She did backstroke, she did breaststroke, and the relays, always helping us out. And she was one of the white division honors as well. Okay, Evelyn, thank you. Maya's not here, a freshman just starting out, helped us out in the team. Callie, step forward. We know a lot about Callie. She's in the paper, you know, superstar, great kid, and she is a great kid. Not only from soccer, but in swimming. She's always kept us together. She kind of sent out all those messages. I would send out messages, but then she would send out messages on top of mine to make sure everyone understood it. So Callie, over the years, the 200, the 500 free, the 50, the 100, taping up your ankle. Thank you, Coach, all the time. You just did a nice job. And we're going to miss that leadership that you have, and some of the younger guys will have to step up. There's no doubt about that. But Callie, thanks for 4 tremendous years. Okay, Callie. Emma Hogan. Maybe Emma will step up. Yeah, Emma. All right, next year. Emma is another one that, from her sister who graduated a year ago. Emma's a nice backstroker. We put her in 500 early, then we changed it to 200 IM. See that look I got? That quick look? She likes the 200 IM better. And we're going to probably stay with that backstroke as well, which I think I said. So, Emma, you had another fine season. Just keep helping us out. You're a reliable person. In any meets, as all the coaches know, it's not the top guys when you're scoring points. It's the middle. I don't like to say the bottom, but everyone. We score 6 lanes. It's usually five positions that you can get points. In our little pool of Metuchen, it's the top 3 because there's 4 lanes. So with every point is counting for us. Marabella. Definitely helped us in the breaststroke, improving in the freestyle. I'd like to get her more stuff in the breaststroke and the relay in the breaststroke, maybe a little more 50 and 100 free. And I think she's working outside in a club team as well. The key thing is any sport, especially swimming, running, everything, you got to do it all year long. And that's what's happening now, too. Marabella, thank you very much. Mira and Chelsea, they're our frickin' frat girls. Mira's a good butterflyer, mostly butterfly. I'm going to stay with that tonight. Chelsea is a breaststroker and does some butterfly. These 2 girls will either drive me crazy, okay, or make me laugh, okay? And they even came down to the tennis courts today when I'm with the boys to practice or whatever, but they're really fun kids, and sometimes they drive me crazy, but I still love you. Okay, Mira and Chelsea. Eloise, good 205 girl. I probably broke my promise last year not putting her in some other things. But since Callie is going away next year, maybe we have to experiment with her in the different events, 50 and free, because she was pretty quick. And I broke my promise last year not doing that. But she was also a white division winner. Thank you, Eloise. Elizabeth, club swimmer as well. Got honors in the white division, GMC all around. Good backstroker, good freestyle. Pretty much can do anything. And I know she's tired from the weekend she had at the States, but she did a good job. I try to keep up on all the times. Swimming doesn't end. It's all year round. When they're done with me, they're still swimming more races. So, Elizabeth, thanks. Another good season. Thanks for everything. Lucy. Where's Lucy? There she is. I'm glad we got Lucy. She came from Trinity High School, I believe. Came in as she's a sophomore. Filled in the IM and the breaststroke perfectly. White division honors. It was just so good to see someone that would just go pretty much anywhere I wanted. And actually, most of them will do that because I always say it's about the team, not about them. And she did a great job. So, Lucy, keep swimming, kid. I'll see you. John V's not here, but a nice young lady who's still working on getting everything together. Leah as well. And one more, Janice Yip, not here tonight. She swims at Woodbridge. I mean, she goes to school at Woodbridge Academy, but I'm very thankful we have her here, that she comes over here. We get rides and all that kind of stuff going. Great swimmer. She did a great job at the States this past weekend, Y Nationals. She went into Meet of Champions. She took 6th in the fly and 8th in the 200 IM. Lily took 11th in the 500. I know she wanted more, but she did great anyway, and she'll be back there again. So overall, great season. Hope I didn't take too long. I congratulate all the other sports as well. And girls, I'll give you these as I see you. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
We have 2 of our wrestlers here tonight that we're going to honor, so I want to ask Coach Kegel if he'll come up front, please. Dan and Celeste, if you'll come up front.
Thank you, Board of Ed. Thank you, admin. Appreciate everybody. Celeste is here being awarded as a GMC County Champion. It's her 2nd time winning a county championship. She has 70 career wins, which is 2nd all-time for our female wrestlers. She is a Central Golden Eagle Classic champion. She's a NJSIAA state qualifier, and she's considering competing collegiately as a wrestling athlete. Great job, Celeste. Danny Montemurno is being awarded tonight as a district champion. Some of his accomplishments in his career are a 3-time county place winner. He has 85 career wins, which is 5th all-time. He's a Pioneer Classic champion. In this year's individual tournament, he is a district champion. The district tournament is the first level, the first stage of the individual round. And what we did with Danny this year, we had an opportunity to bump a weight class. He gave up 20 to 30 pounds in 3 bouts. He pinned his way through the tournament. He's been the first district champion in 4 seasons. He went on the next weekend to the region tournament, the 2nd stage, and placed 4th, qualifying him for a bid to Atlantic City this weekend. He is a NJSAI state qualifier. And we're extremely proud of him, and you guys are the best. Great job this year.
We'd like to, again, wish Danny good luck this weekend in Atlantic City, so go get him, Dan. We're going to start with our middle school teams now. This is our undefeated team. Coach Logan couldn't be here tonight, Karen Logan, so I'm going to ask Coach Acevedo if she'll come up. She's going to announce the names. And if we can have our girls' middle school swim team come to the front, please. She loves being called coach.
It's just the swim team, not just the girls. All the swim team come up, please. Good evening, everyone. I'm so honored to be able to speak about our swim team in lieu of Ms. Logan. This is a message from Ms. Logan. This year's Edgar swim team consisted of 11 6th graders, 10 7th graders, and 6 8th graders. These swimmers were not only undefeated in the regular season, but also beat the other 4 teams at the end of the season invitational in February. At this competition, almost every Edgar swimmer walked away with at least 1 medal. Throughout the season, every single swimmer shaved time off their events and improved in stroke technique. All these kids were very supportive of their teammates with a great deal of team spirit and good sportsmanship toward their opponent as well. So I'm just going to read out your names. As you hear your name, just step up so everyone can see who you are. Emma and Nolan Bagarni are not here. Levi Bora, Catherine Cosenza, Cal Crawford, Joseph is not here, Cuomo. Lucas Descalou, Christina Donahue, Jonah Dreyfus,
Calvin Dupuis, Courtney Farrell, Alexander Gumbrick, Sebastian Lazar-Gullio, Olivia Lazar-Gullio, Daniel Ma, Zoe Mojica, Kaylin Ndalepa, RJ North, Ashley Uyang, Olivia Palmer, William Peterson, Shane So, John Steiner, Sophia Vega, Thomas Whittington, Jaden Yip, and Brian Zhang. Let's give them a hand. Congratulations.
You can take a seat. Good job.
And Ms. Azevedo, as the high school teams get their years up on the banners, your undefeated teams get their year up on the banners in your gym as well. So looking forward to that.
Okay, last but not least, I'm going to ask Coach Jaworski to come up front and our boys middle school wrestling team.
Go make line, guys. Alex here. You're the older. I said Alex. Hey guys, come on, make line. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to the board. Good evening to the administration. Good evening to all our families, and of course, our student athletes. My name is Trey Jaworski. I have the privilege of serving as the head coach of the Edgar Middle School wrestling team. This is my second year coaching here, and in that short time, I've seen just how special this group and this community are. This year is the program's fourth year. Our athletes earned their first undefeated season in Edgar wrestling history, finishing 7-0. We had 4 first placers at the Middlesex County Small Schools Wrestling Tournament. I want to call them out so they can step forward real quick. Not all of them are here, but Alex is here. Evan is not here. Michael is here. And Jacob, who's not here. Good job, guys. We also had 6 second place winners as well at the tournament on January 17th, 2026. I'm going to be calling all the names of the athletes now that are here. Please just again, one more time, step forward if you're called once already too. So up first is Jack. Then we have Chase. Jevin is not here. Declan is up. Jackson Z. Noah. Cameron. Gabe. Justin. Christian. Alexander. Michael, Jackson H., who's not here, Evan, Alistair, Jacob, Bejan, Anush, and Mateo. We have 10 8th graders who are moving on to high school next and will be the new leaders of the wrestling programs wherever they go. These are all wonderful role models and they'll have big shoes to fill. I want to thank everyone who makes this season a success. Our families for their constant support, the district and our rec programs for investing in our kids, our staff and maintenance crews who keep everything running, and our coaches and past coaches, and the many other adults and athletes who have poured into this program over the years. Your impact is written all over this team and will follow these players as they move on to high school. To the athletes, you earned this. Be proud of what you've accomplished and carry that confidence with you to next season. Thank you all. Come on, guys. Good job. I know it's not easy getting up here.
And Coach Jaworski, as well as the swim team, you'll have your year and your name up on the banner at Edgar Gym as well. So we're excited by that.
Thank you. We very much appreciate it.
Thank you to you all coming out. Oh, go ahead, Ms. Catherine.
No, it's okay. Go ahead. You don't need me.
All right.
I just wanted to say thank you to all the parents that have showed up tonight also for your support of all of our teams while you're leaving. Thank you.
Clearly, they've done this before. They know this is the time to go. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you for all your hard work this season. Congratulations again. We'll give folks a moment to collect their things, their certificates, etc., and then we'll resume with the open to the public section. I'm going to run to
guess we'll stay in that order then. Right, is it the line item? High school ed, so we'll start with ed. Yeah, I kind of like these sometimes. Yeah, I do. I don't know. I like it's nice and straight. And
I'm going to go close.
yeah, I do.
How much is that?
I guess I got it right, like right exactly where I wanted, like in the desk. It's not swivelly. I'm not worried about the arms moving. Budgets. We're going to stay in order. Yeah. Mike just told him to come around this time, which is perfect. Yeah. So let's go. Let's do it.
All right, the meeting is open to the public. I don't see any additional folks. No one? Going once, going twice. All right, now we're ready for presentations. Dr. Caputo, we have a whole bunch.
Right, so our first presentations tonight deal with the 26-27 budget. We'll start with the school-based budgets, and we'll stay in order of the handouts if you're following along. So I'll invite Mr. Prowski to the podium first.
Good evening, folks.
Good evening.
So, you might not expect a school budget presentation to connect with our school's upcoming Shrek the Musical, but to paraphrase what Shrek so eloquently says, budgets are like onions. They have layers. What I mean is, while the top line might look simple, the deeper layers show where the real decisions were made. So, without further ado, I present MHS, the 26-27 budget. Long ago, in the merry month of September 2025, the teachers, district supervisors, and a certain grumpy ogre, principal, started planning the budget. Just like Shrek, whose primary interest is to maintain what he values most, his swamp, our first goal was to ensure that the foundation for our budget was stable by identifying the supplies, textbooks, technology tools, and other resources necessary for us to maintain what we value, our students who deserve outstanding instructional programming. These items included things like our subscriptions to our student information system, Genesis, the Linkit Data Assessment System, World Language Online Libraries, music arrangements, instrument consumables, art supplies, our film streaming subscription for our courses, science supplies for instruction and labs, instructional licenses for things like Mathematic and Delta Math, woodshop and robotics materials, textbook replacements, and license extensions, and various office and printing supplies. From there, we started to look beyond our swamp, our foundation, and up pops Donkey. You know, those unexpected costs that show up and just start talking. We encountered a few of those when planning, as some of our materials had some significant pricing increases. We all know what it's like to go grocery shopping, right? Well, we had to address that when examining our budget proposals, especially in our foods courses. That's only one example, albeit a perfect example, of where we needed to start weighing options to determine what costs we really needed to maintain. Next, we bravely set forth on a quest to storm the castle and fight the dragon. We fearlessly began to tackle important purchases, which included purchasing materials for a new 3D pottery course, garnering hard cases to protect our traveling minstrels' cellos, planning to slay and replace the soon-to-be out-of-compliance AP psychology textbooks, allocating funds to support implementing new physics and pre-calculus textbooks, and supplementing our textbook rations in other areas where course enrollment continues to increase. We had to face a few Lord Farquaad moments. You know those moments, the ones where we have big expectations, but the budget needs to say small. So we did our best to prioritize purchases, finally settling on the ones we consider the fairest in the land. So with the assistance of our teachers and supervisors, through careful planning for the different layers of our onion, or our onion-like budget, and by anticipating the encounters with donkeys and Lord Farquaads, we hope to have won the heart of our Princess Fiona, also known as the attainable, responsible budget that is below a 2% increase. So with that, we hope Metuchen High School's 26-27 budget plan will end like Shrek the Musical, happily ever after.
Thank you, Mr. Porowski, as always. Are there any questions?
Entertaining as always. Thank you. I look for no offense to you. I look forward to all the budget presentations. You should have him go last. He sets a high bar. Just a question about the textbooks.
Yes.
That's physical textbooks and versus
physical and online, because you
So
can't
that's-
buy them separately. You have to buy them together.
Okay, that was the question.
That was the only question?
Is the majority physical or the majority online? I mean, there's
When you buy the physical, that's when you get the online. You don't get to purchase just an online for the majority of our courses, just because that's where they get you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Suss. Any other questions for Principal Porowski? All right, fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Porowski.
you as well.
Ms. Acevedo making her way to the podium now for the Edgar school-based budget.
Excuse me, I have to warm up. La, 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 la. I've asked to not go after him. When he was at Campbell, he led the budget. Now he's at high school. Sorry, it's not going to be as entertaining, but it's still good. Good evening, members of the Board of Education, Dr. Caputo, Dr. Herzog, Mr. Harvier, and the Metuchen community. I am here tonight to present the Edgar Middle School budget for the 2026-2027 school year, a year that marks a significant milestone in our district's evolution. As you are aware, this coming school year brings a major change to our hallways, the grade realignment. For the first time in many years, Edgar Middle School will no longer house the 5th grade, as that grade transitions to its new home at Campbell Elementary. While we will certainly miss the energy our youngest students brought to our building, the budget reflects a strategic and purposeful shift to better serve our 6th, 7th, and 8th grade populations. Because of this realignment, you will see several zero-line items in areas previously dedicated to the 5th grade. This includes the traditional 5th grade Camp Mason trip, previously budgeted at $15,000, and the 5th grade specific general supplies and resources like Typing Club and the iReady program. We have also reallocated funds directly to Campbell Elementary to ensure the 5th grade experience remains robust in its new location from our world language, music, and art budgets. However, this transition has allowed us to refocus our resources on deepening the academic and elective experiences for our 6th through 8th graders. Our most significant investment this year is our science curriculum. A committee of teachers and administrators have been reviewing possible curriculum options and next steps. We will be making a recommendation to the curriculum committee for a program soon. This budget accounts for the initial implementation with primary instructional materials for a new program. In math, we are prioritizing modern digital forward learning. We have budgeted
money for a new 3-year licenses for Math 6 and pre-algebra for both 6th and 7th grades. We are also maintaining our commitment to high-level instructional technology with continued subscriptions to iExcel, Edpuzzle, and Linkit, which provide essential data-driven insights to personalized learning for every student. Our library and media center continues to be the heart of our school. With a total budget of $20,372, we are ensuring that students have a high access to both high-quality print materials through the Junior Library Guild and a suite of powerful digital databases like World Book Online, Discovery Education, and BrainPop. These resources are critical for fostering the research skills our students will need as they move toward the high school. Finally, we're committing to maintaining our facilities and specialized equipment. We have increased our budget for our industrial arts machinery repairs to ensure our students can safely explore engineering and construction projects. We are also continuing to support our G&T and arts programs with increased funding for competition registrations to give our students more opportunities to showcase their talents. While our school will feel a bit different without the 5th grade next year, this budget ensures that Edgar Middle School remains a premier environment for middle school learners. We are not just getting smaller, we are becoming more focused, more modern, and more dedicated to the unique needs of the 6th through 8th grade experience. Thank you for your continued support of our students and staff.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Azevedo. Any questions for Mrs. Azevedo? I mean, it's usually you.
I don't have a question.
No questions this time? All right. Any questions, anyone else? All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Ms. Azevedo. Next, we'll have Dr. Costanza, Campbell Schools, school-based budget for 26-27.
Good evening, everybody. So great to see you. So as we prepared the Campbell portion of the budget, we approached the work with a focus on strategic alignment, fiscal responsibility, particularly as Campbell transitions to one fewer grade for next year. Great thanks to all the Campbell staff, supervisors who participated in the collaborative process that helped us to put dollars to all of our goals. Our process involved 3 steps. First, we reviewed current spending across instructional materials and digital resources. Second, we analyzed actual usage during the year to determine which resources were most actively supported by Campbell in spending. Finally, we projected what would be needed to move forward with one less grade level for next year. This allowed us to identify targeted reductions where appropriate, while preserving the instructional resources that most directly support teaching and learning, which is primary to our work. First, in the area of assessment and literacy, the iReady reading diagnostic remains in the budget as it's required for benchmark assessments and allows us to monitor student growth throughout the year. Teachers have also expressed interest in iReady MyPath, the reading component, which provides individualized learning similar to what students currently experience in math and will continue. We planned in this area and will continue to monitor implementation by balancing instructional value and, of course, fiscal responsibility. In the area of mathematics, Ready Math workbooks and iReady remain central to our math program. The per-student cost increased slightly, but the overall allocations adjusted downward because we'll be losing one grade next year. In science, with the transition to Science Every Day, our supply needs will increase slightly. Previously, our supply budget supported roughly half of the instructional units, and that will increase. Moving forward, we will need supplies for all of the units in grades 3 through 5. The estimated increase is modest and ensures students can fully engage in hands-on science learning experiences and will support one of the biggest innovations, I think, happening at Campbell, the increase of science instruction every single day at Campbell, which is a great innovation, I think, in our schools and actually throughout the country. With regard to digital instructional resources, BrainPop Junior and BrainPop continue to operate on a site-based license, not per pupil cost. So costs do not decrease significantly with the loss of a grade level. However, we did acquire a bundle discount resulting in a slight reduction compared to last year.
Vocabulary, which is piloted under a free trial this year, has been well received by our teachers. We're essential in the process of determining our curricular resources. And that's a tool to support vocabulary development and literacy across all of the content areas. Tremendous effort in our curricular work to align across contents, and this will support that. This will be introduced in full next year. For IXL, although Campbell is losing grades 1 and 2, those grades did not use that particular program. With regard to instructional materials, we're proposing a one-time purchase of magnetic double-sided whiteboards to support math instruction. These materials have not been included in the budget for several years and will support student engagement and problem solving during math lessons, especially with our 5th graders. In social studies, finally, this budget includes a new cost for 5th grade social studies curricular platform, providing teachers with access to aligned instructional curricular materials and resources. In sum, many of the structural reductions associated with losing a grade are being realized primarily through targeted reductions in general instructional supplies, including items such as folders, notebooks, workbooks and paper of that sort. These adjustments reflect actual budget usage and the needs of a smaller student population, so very targeted, and we really looked at our current usage. This approach allows us to achieve responsible reductions without reducing instructional resources that most directly support student learning. Overall, the Campbell budget reflects a thoughtful effort to right-size resources, respond to teacher input, and maintain strong instructional supports while demonstrating careful stewardship of district funds. Thank you so much for your unending support, and I certainly welcome any questions.
Thank you so much, Dr. Costanza. Any questions? Mr. Suss.
I actually have a question. I'm not going to make Aceveda walk back up here. Just related to the textbooks. Does textbooks include like novels that kids read in English class? Or is it just like math, history 101, econ, or is that a separate?
Yeah, textbooks a little bit different at the elementary level. There are novels that are included with digital curricular resources. As I had mentioned, we have site-based license, so it's a little bit different than what is happening at the high school level, and certainly with the curricular writing in-house that we do here. What we do is look for resources and other kind of books to support the work that we do, and that's where some of the digital resources will assist with that.
Do you feel we have the right balance with digital resources versus paper resources? There's so much talk of too much screen time for kids, and are they getting used to reading a book?
Yeah, I think with regard to that question specifically about screen time, I think that we do. However, it's something that you need to have the pulse of continuously, so it's a continuing analysis of that. Yes, we have it right. It doesn't mean that we're going to have it right tomorrow, and we need to stay on it. Again, a little bit different than some of the answers from the high school with digital resources and that kind of thing. But this screen time question is so important. It comes back in our survey data. Parents are certainly it's on their mind, and we want to make sure that we're responsive to it. Our data indicates that we are right now. Again, it doesn't mean that we will be tomorrow, so we need to stay at it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Costanza. Any other questions? All right.
Thank you for your support as always.
Thanks, Dr. Costanza. Ms. Aspercolis, to the podium to explain your 225% increase in budget.
I know, they really did set you up.
It's only 211%.
So this is a hefty responsibility besides the fact that bases are loaded and I have to take us home right now. Good evening, everyone. I'm pleased to present the 2026-2027 Moss School budget. It is with great excitement that I have the privilege of officially opening the chapter to a realigned and reimagined Moss School beginning this fall. This budget reflects the collaborative efforts of multiple stakeholders across the district, the Board of Education, and a shared vision to provide our youngest learners with a facility, programming, and community at Moss School that inspires curiosity, nurtures growth, and lays a strong foundation for lifelong learning. As you are aware, behind the scenes, many members of our Moss educational community have been working tirelessly to prepare for this year, the capstone year of our district's realignment, and a year that will officially redefine and greatly enrich the early childhood experience for our Metuchen students. District-wide efforts have focused on reimagining, revising, and advancing the mission of our early childhood programming. From refining elementary programming to assessing needs through our school leadership team and other collaborative structures, this budget helps ensure that the necessary resources are in place to bring our shared vision for Moss School to life. All of these efforts directly connect to our greatest responsibility and privilege as the district's primary school, helping our students to develop a love of learning from the very beginning of their educational journey. This evening, I would like to highlight several key components of our projected budget and how they support our mission. The first is the evolving organizational needs. As you can imagine, the day-to-day operations of our Moss community will evolve significantly. With a projected increase of approximately 350 students or so, several budgeted items are intended to support a smooth and safe transition. These include the implementation of the Pickup Patrol platform to improve dismissal efficiency and enhance student safety, the development of updated classroom safety kits aligned with our crisis and security plans, the installation of new building signage, and the procurement of additional materials necessary to support the opening and operation of our expanded learning spaces. The second area is curriculum needs. As we continue to expand and enrich our elementary programming, we have taken a strategic approach to the procurement and retention of curriculum materials. This includes multi-year planning for the acquisition of durable instructional resources such as tech sets and other non-consumable materials so that the financial impact of these purchases is distributed thoughtfully over time rather than concentrated in a single budget cycle. At the same time, purchases of consumable materials are approached strategically and conservatively, ensuring that resources are aligned with instructional priorities while maintaining fiscal responsibility. This balanced approach allows us to support high-quality instruction while sustaining long-term budget stability. The third area is our commitment to social-emotional learning. At Moss School, we recognize the vital role we play in shaping our youngest learners not only academically, but socially and personally as well. Our budget includes resources to support and strengthen our building-wide SEL initiatives. This includes the creation and maintenance of sensory-friendly classroom spaces, the opening of our brand-new Zen Den, the development of a dedicated sensory room, enhancements to our recess programming, and additional building-wide supports designed to promote self-regulation, positive relationships, and student well-being. These investments will help ensure our students develop the social and emotional skills necessary to thrive both inside and outside of the classroom. In conclusion, this year's budget reflects a thoughtful and strategic approach as we plan for the future of Moss School. It supports the continued evolution of our programs, prepares us for the growth of our student population, and it ensures that we provide a high-quality learning experience and resources for every child who walks through our doors. Thank you all for your time and your continued support of Moss School and our students. I would be happy to answer any questions you have at this time.
Thank you so much, Ms. Aspercolas. I love how you look straight at Mr. Saska's,
No. I thought it was genius that they just left out the percent change.
Plus 225.
I counted 211.1, but no questions. Actually, I do have a question for Mr. Harvier. So I did the math, and it comes out to 4.1% increase over the school budgets. Did I do the math right?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I assume we'll figure it out. I mean, obviously, we just heard we have a whole brand new situation coming, so I guess this is just part of the realignment costs.
Right.
Okay.
And we were anticipating that.
Great job.
Thank you.
Wait, don't run away. There's actually another question. Mr. Glassberg.
More of a comment. I appreciate everybody's hard work with the budgets, especially in a challenging year, but I also want to acknowledge the collaboration that had to take place between the different schools to allow for this transition and the shifting of supplies and monies and so on, and working through your budgets is not a small task at all. Obviously, you had a huge lift here in taking on the additional grades, but the shifting of everything is extremely complex, so I appreciate everybody's collaboration on that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good job, Ms. Haspakalis. Thank you. Next, we'll move to athletics, and we'll invite Mr. Cathcart back to the podium.
Good evening. The budget that is in front of you for 26-27 reflects the interests of 23 varsity sports, including cheerleading and ice hockey co-op, and 11 middle school sports. The sports are supported by the amount of transportation that we have, the amount of coaches, and the equipment that we buy for our kids. We kept this to a 2% increase so that we didn't overspend here, and I think that it reflects really what is going on in the trend today and the amount of interest and increase in all of the equipment that we end up purchasing for our kids. And as you saw today, we're providing them with quite a bit of success. So that's mainly the result of the board's continued support of our facilities, of our new gym, and hopefully next year of our Friday night lights. So as you can see by this, we put down the number of sports, which reflects the coaches' amount on the amount of levels that we have. Most of our sports are varsity JV. We have a few freshman teams, but most of it is varsity and JV, and the middle school usually, except for track and cross country, has one coach per team. The uniforms account for some of the 27,000 or 19,000. This year we're purchasing new cheerleading uniforms. We haven't purchased them in a long time. The cheerleading team keeps growing in size. We've kind of piecemealed it together with buying 2 or 3 or 4 in a row, but once you start doing that, they don't necessarily match. So we've decided that we need to go with a full set of uniforms there, which is probably one of the more expensive uniforms that we can purchase. And that's pretty much it.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Cathcart. Any questions from the board?
Just a positive comment. Thank you for adjusting the budget per the meeting we had with the committees.
Yeah, it's not always easy, but we do what we can, and we do the best we can with what we get. So we appreciate that no matter what we get. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Dr. Caputo?
Thank you, Mr. Cathcart. Now we'll move to Dr. Bonacissa and the special ed budget.
Good evening. Thank you for inviting me to speak this evening about the special education budget and the services provided by these funds. There are currently 410 students with disabilities in our district, and this represents approximately 17% of our student population. All of the assessed needs of these students are reflected in this budget. Tonight I will focus on 4 key areas, which are supplies and materials, contracted professional services, tuition for out-of-district students, and specific initiatives and programs. Starting with supplies and materials, these funds support the essential resources for differentiated instruction, IEP goals, and the unique needs of our students. They also cover essential supplies for our child study teams, speech therapists, and school nurses. And there were no increases in any of those lines. For contracted professional services, this is a significant expense covering services purchased from individuals or agencies that possess specialized skills, knowledge, or professional licenses to address specific student needs in the areas of their disabilities, such as physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech-language pathologists, teacher of the deaf services, nursing services, board-certified behavior analysts, behavior technicians, and specialized evaluations.
Consultation services provided to our staff that meet the unique needs of some of our students are also included. These services are crucial for addressing the diverse needs of our students and maintaining them within our district whenever possible. The increase in the pre-K line reflects the increased need for support for our youngest learners in the areas of speech, occupational therapy, physical therapy, and behavioral support and specialized evaluations. The K-12 line also supports our mental health initiative, including services from our partners Rutgers UBHC and Wellspring, as well as contracted behavior analytic services. We have had a substantial increase in our contracted behavioral services to support student mental and behavioral health needs, which will be elaborated on during our mental health initiative update. The increase in this line reflects the increased rates from some of our vendors, as well as expansions of our partnerships with other contracted experts that have expertise that we do not have in district to address the needs of our students with disabilities. Next, for out-of-district tuition, other than the purchased technical services, this is one of the largest expenses in our department. These are programs that the district places students in when we do not have an appropriate program in our schools. In recent years, with the addition of our 18 to 21 program and therapeutic programs have allowed numerous students to receive an appropriate education within our community. The tuition rates are set by the out-of-district placements, and they do increase annually. Special programs. I would like to take a moment to briefly highlight some of the specific focus areas based on the resources in the current budget. I want to also acknowledge that excellent programs are taking place every day in every classroom, and thank the teaching and support staff for their dedication to meeting the needs of all of our students. First, our special education ELA teachers collaborate with our literacy coach, embedding multisensory reading instruction into our programs to guide targeted literacy instruction and closely monitor student growth. Our students in the Metuchen Internship Learning Experience courses have continued with great success again this year. We are very appreciative of our many community partners that provide our students with these experiences. Proactive support by our mental health partners, including parent training, staff workshops, student-centered lessons and activities to promote coping skills, positive wellness, safe decision-making, and a wealth of knowledge and resources. And I'm also very proud to tell you that our newest cohort of teachers participating in their 2-year Orton Gillingham program through our partnership with Fairleigh Dickinson University have finished their first year and will be continuing with their second year in the fall. As I conclude the special education budget presentation, I would like to thank all of the parents, community, and staff members who contribute daily to the success of our special education programs and our students. I would especially like to thank those who participate in our CPAC team and the Special Education District Leadership Team for their ongoing support and commitment to the continuous improvement in our department. I'm so appreciative of the time, effort, collaboration, and support of our parents and educators, which are all vital to the success of our students. I also want to extend my thanks to Dr. Caputo, Mr. Harvier, Dr. Herzog, and the Board of Education for your continued support of our special education department. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Dr. Bonacisa. Any questions from the board?
Just a comment for the community. You mentioned about tuition at the out-of-district placements. They're not subject to the 2% cap like we are. So
they're not.
We're at their mercy.
That's correct, and they increase annually. Thank you for acknowledging that.
Thank you, Mr. Suss. Any other questions or comments? All right, thank you so much, Dr. Bonacisa.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Bonacisa. Appreciate you being a good steward of a large and important part of our budget.
Great. Now, next up, we have even more presentations.
Yes. So our next presentation is our solar and ESIP presentation from our folks from DCO. So, Mr. Harvier, did you want to introduce or?
Yeah, Mr. Greg Burns will start us off.
All right. Good
Good evening, board members, Metuchen community, Dr. Caputo, Mr. Harvier, and those in attendance. Thank you for the opportunity to present to you this evening. We're here to discuss your investment grade audit at a high level, our findings, with three goals really in mind: reducing energy consumption, finding a way to reduce your electric rates, as well as extending and finding a way to provide district-wide roof warranties. Starting off on a high note, last night at about 4:50, we received third-party review from Johnson & Urban. So we had to submit an energy savings plan based on our investment grade audit to a third-party independent engineering firm. They approved it, and this afternoon we had Christine from Spiesel, your architect firm, submit that on behalf of the district. So that is in review by the New Jersey Board of Public Utilities as we speak. I also have with me this evening my engineering manager, Matt Adelphio. So I know it's been a little while since I've been here in person, so just wanted to kind of, again, recap. The Energy Savings Improvement Program, if anybody asks, it's a financing mechanism. The difference between an ESIP and a referendum is kind of how you get the upfront funding. Instead of going to the voters, we're finding energy savings to fund the projects, and then it turns into a construction project. So in its goal, its purpose, it's a financing mechanism. It's the only option really for public entities in the state of New Jersey to fund capital improvements through energy savings without impacting the taxpayers. That's the most important part, is this does not go to the taxpayers. It's funded through your existing budget. I'm going to hit you just with some high-level numbers, and then I'm going to jump into the energy conservation measures. So the scenario one, and I'll touch on those, why there's two scenarios. The first one is about a $7.7 million project that'll generate over $11 million worth of energy savings over the project term. A conservative estimate of approximately $240,000 of rebates and incentives. I did check the numbers today. We've been overdriving them by about 25% in the past 12 months. So our goal is to increase that number. So again, conservative estimate. Any upside in energy savings or rebates all go directly to the district. The operational savings would be about $203,000 over a 5-year period. So the lights we'll install, I'll talk about next slide, will come with a 10-year warranty. The Board of Public Utilities and the state legislation only allows us to carry 5 years of those savings, so the district should not purchase a new light for 10 years. And so after the energy savings cover the cost on an annual basis, the district will be about cash flow positive annually, about $5,000 or close to $100,000 over the term of the project. So now on the next slide, and this is a bit tough to see, but this is what we call our Energy Conservation Measure Matrix, or ECM matrix. There's a few check marks. I'll explain it pretty quickly here. So everything with a green background and a purple check mark means it's evaluated and included in our current project. If it has a purple check mark and a white background, it's not currently turned on. The reason being is it typically didn't have enough self-funding, or priorities really were focused around rooftop units and or really the roofing upgrades district-wide. And then the other one, we did make an adjustment and lighting control, so you have those existing at Metuchen High School and Moss Elementary. So those are existing, so there's no need to be evaluated there. But I really wanted to focus on 6 key upgrades that we think are really priorities of the district. So all lights, obviously not part of your referendum, interior, exterior will be upgraded. They'll come with a 10-year warranty, and there will be a 2% attic stock for any tubes carried, 1% attic stock for any flat panels, like in the hallway where you see the drop ceiling. I call it the doctor office look. We'll put there'll be new flat panels in there. We'll work with Mr. Harvier and Mr. Shanley to store any attic stock, so extra in case any bulbs burn out. Next is the district-wide roof restoration. So this is taking up a majority, right, of the good portion of the project cost. So all flat roofs throughout the district will be coated and come with the 15-year warranty. We typically work with the manufacturer to at least get it to 16 years. So if there's a gap from when the roofing gets done to when the solar goes on top of it, there's still matches the lifespan of the panels. The next part is the district-wide solar power purchase agreement. So this is about a 1.5 megawatt solar system throughout the district. and it's for the term of 15 years. And the rate and the power purchase agreement rate that would be asked to be approved at a future meeting is 3.6 cents. Your current rate is about 15 cents on average throughout the district, somewhere in that range. So going from 15 cents down to 3.5 cents is going to generate upwards of $200,000 to $250,000 annually. So a substantial amount of savings, especially in the energy market today. Next is the rooftop unit replacement. So 4 of them are spec'd for Edgar Middle School. It's the 2 gym units, a locker room, and I believe, Mr. Harvier, correct me if I'm wrong, it's the special ed area, the former office. Right. Just wanted to make sure I had that right. Then you can see building envelope and weatherization, just again, tightening up the building envelope, making sure during heating season, the hot air stays in, during cooling air with your new air conditioning, when that gets turned on, the cold air stays in. And the combined heat and power, so it's a cogen unit, and really the intent there is, aside from it producing electricity and collecting the waste heat, it does allow you to extend the financing of the project term. And we can save questions for the end. Feel free to stop me at any point. It's up to you. So these are some existing solar systems we have right now. Tried to give quite a few different angles. The one, I think these are both, the first 2 photos are from our ESIP project at Edison Public Schools. The first photo to the left is J.P. Stevens, and Woodrow Wilson's the one in the middle, and then the one to the right is from another district. It's a little bit up higher from a drone shot, so you can see any panels that go on a flat roof are very difficult, almost impossible to see, especially with the parapet, to see from the land or from the street or other views. So flat roofs would be really not visible from the street. So scenario 2, and I'll touch on what the differences are. It's a $6.1 million project. It'll generate over $8.8 million worth of savings over the term of the project. Another $220,000 conservatively of rebates, almost $200,000 of operational savings, and a positive cash flow of $125,000 at the end of the project term. The major difference here, it's exactly the same project as scenario 1. The only difference is, and we're working through it, spoke with PSE&G today, so not to get into the weeds on it, but during the referendum, you had a meter switched out. We had to provide a load letter. The load letter takes longer to review during the interconnection application process because they don't have the 12 months of prior data on the new meter. So without trying to get into the weeds on that, essentially PSE&G just gives themselves more time to review that because of that load letter that we have to submit. So the only difference is in scenario 1 and 2 is because we do not have interconnection approval at the high school at this point. This is just the alternative. Again, not the goal. The goal is scenario 1. And what has to come out, because there's not enough energy savings to cover those costs, would be initially the 4 rooftop units at Edgar. Matt, myself, and my team sat down. We feel confident that even if it went to scenario 2, we could still fit in a unit or 2 at Edgar after we go through the bidding process with Spiesel and evaluating procurement and construction. But we just wanted to make sure you had both scenarios in case, depending on how the results come back from the high school. Again, I checked the sustainability map again this morning before I came in. It's been green since I presented to you back in November of 25. The difference is the meter got swapped out really, so the interconnection application process is taking slightly longer than standard. So again, the exact same scope. Difference would be scenario 2 would not have the high school solar. The solar system at the high school is about double. It equates for half of the solar if it's all 4. So you have about 750 kW system between Edgar, Moss, and Campbell, and then another 750 at the high school. So the high school does make up a good chunk of savings. That's why we're able to fit in the units at Edgar. We're also taking a penalty on the Edgar units, right? So it's 70 tons of cooling on the 3 air conditioning units. So we have to take that penalty in our ESIP projects to make sure, right, you're adding electric load, you're going to be using more cooling. So we take that into account. Is there any questions on scope? Process? I know I talk fast, so I apologize.
I'll have some at the end, but I'm okay for now.
Okay. And then this is just where we're at from the process standpoint. So we still have a ways to go before we're in construction, or really honestly even closing on financing. There are some board approvals we need before we can advance to those steps. I presented last evening to the construction committee, full board this evening. Again, Spiesel and Christine submitted the energy savings plan this afternoon, so it is under review by the Board of Public Utilities. They have 14 business days to review. They're actually typically pretty good at reviewing, a little bit quicker. Would hope for maybe comments back by this week. I would expect approval within the next 7 to 10 business days. The next would be, we have to go to local finance board. So it's the financing process for ESIP can be done one of two ways. Your financial advisor, Phoenix, is advising refunding bonds. So it's very similar to a referendum. We still have to go to local finance board, get a new credit rating, go to Trenton for your local finance board approval. So we would work with them to submit that on the 19th, get initial approvals to do that, move forward with the project and the process. Then we would have to present at the local finance board meeting. Typically it would be myself, your bond counsel, McManaman, Scotland, and Bauman, Phoenix advisors, Mr. Harvier, Dr. Caputo. It's virtual, luckily, so you just have to be on camera. And then we would come back to the board at the end of April for kind of review of where everything landed. Once that approval is done in April, then we work with your financial advisor to sell the bonds, pick a close date, and go from there. So even after April, we're probably still 6 or so weeks, depending on the marketplace at the time, to sell and close on the bonds. And we're working with the financial advisor, just with the market, to make sure we're going to find the most optimal time to close on the bonds for the district. And that is our presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Burns. Are there questions? I know Mr. Glassberg said he had some. Others? Ms. Zimmerman.
I think in the in scenario 1, what percentage of electricity will we generate from the solar panels, and how does that differ from scenario 2?
It's a good question. I believe so. In scenario 1, it's about 70%, 67 to 70%, and so I'd say cut that ballpark in half because it's about 750 kW at the high school, so around 35 or so percent, 30 to 35%. Again, the high school still on the PSE&G sustainability map is green. The hiccup that happened was no fault of anybody, I'd say, is that the meter got swapped out during the referendum. So the PSE&G will make us do a load calculation, and we have to submit a load letter to them, essentially, so that's really what happened. But it is 50% of the total energy would come from the high school alone if solar was installed. So we still feel very, very optimistic about it. I just want to make sure I'm transparent and we have all those details to you.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Other questions? Mr. Glassberg.
Hello, thank you. Appreciate it, and I appreciate your time. Last night, they presented to the construction committee about a lot of this. Last night, did you mention something about 80? I thought I remembered an 81%.
Yeah. So it was 81%. So every site has a different percentage. I believe like Campbell's almost like 100%. The high school, I think that was the specific site, is 81%. Do you have those? Sorry, yeah. So it's post ESIP generation is 67% district-wide. It's 81% at the high school, if approved, of the electric load at the high school. 67%, and I'm missing the sites there specifically.
So it'd be 81% at Metuchen High School, 66% at Campbell, 66% at Edgar, 75% at Campbell, and then 25% of the production at Moss.
Okay, and so that would make the net for the district?
67% would come from your solar PPA at 3.6 cents.
Okay. All right, thank you for clarifying that. So I want to ask a couple of questions, but I also want to just back up a little bit for the public. So when we started the process leading into the referendum, we went around to the different schools. We heard from people about things that they want in their schools. One of the things that came up from both board members as well as from students, actually, and from and from parents was the concept of solar. And I think, it's something that is very important to a lot of people in this borough. Then when we were interviewing architects, that was one of the questions that we asked as we were interviewing the architects for this project, for the referendum. What about solar? Can we do solar? And ultimately, we were advised that it was best to get through the project first, and then now once you have the roofs, then move on to this process. So I want to just make sure that the public understands, although it's something that we've wanted to do for a while, this right now is the time, if we're going to do it, if the board decides that they're going to do it, this would be the appropriate time now that we have the roofs and the buildings constructed. I also want to point out for everybody, because they might be saying, why are we doing rooftop units? I thought we have air conditioning. We do have air conditioning everywhere. There were some places with existing air conditioning where those units need to be replaced, or would benefit from being replaced. And there were roofs. Obviously, we're not replacing or coating brand new roofs. There were roofs that needed repair that were removed from the referendum in order to cover other costs. So what this allows us to do then is to repair those roofs. It allows us to replace those air conditioning units, replace a lot of lights in terms of reducing our energy costs, and stabilize our energy costs if we were to take this on, because what you're describing, I know there could be some concerns about, well, what if it doesn't generate all of the energy that it's supposed to, although we could talk a little bit about those contingencies there. But I get really concerned about the fact that we have added a ton of square footage in the district. We're adding a huge amount of electricity, not just because we have more spaces, but because we're adding air conditioning everywhere. So what I worry about is if we were not to do something with solar, what our energy bills would be. And this can help mitigate that. So that's one of the reasons why I think that this could be a good idea. I know you mentioned last night also, what if it doesn't? What if it doesn't generate the 67, let's say that we end up at 67% after they approve the designs.
Yeah.
What if it doesn't generate that 67% in a given year?
Yeah, so what we do is after the approvals, and we would help negotiate the contract with Spiesel and your bond counsel with the recommended solar provider of HESP Solar. There's there's a clause, there's a 90% minimum output kilowatt hours over a 12-month period. So what that does is it protects the district and really puts the solar provider on the hook for making sure that those panels are operational and producing electricity at your 3.6 cent rate, and not just sitting on your roofs doing nothing.
And if it's not met at that 90%, what happens?
Typically, the contracts we would see would be they would have to fund the district the delta or make it up in other services in kind.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's all my comments for now.
Great questions and comments, Mr. Glassberg. Thank you so much. Any other questions and comments? Mr. Suss?
I'll just add a comment as well. Just might be good for you to explain to the public the kind of the opposite problem of what Mr. Glassberg was saying. So we're assuming that, if we didn't do solar, our electricity bill was going to be X, and by doing solar and producing and selling electricity and buying it at a cheaper rate, we've reduced it to Y, and that delta is the savings that we can use to pay off the interest on the bonds, which, by the way, the public has. You should probably mention that there's no cost to the public here. There's no bond at all.
Correct.
The opposite problem is we made an assumption about what our new electricity costs are going to be. If for some reason, that assumption is wrong and it costs a crazy amount more. Do you want to talk about the contingency that you put in just in case that, okay, we assumed it was going to be $100,000. Oh my, it's $200,000.
Yeah. So what we do, I mean, there's quite a few things in the plan. So our escalation of savings annually are stipulated by law, so we can only escalate savings at 2.2 to 2.4%, right? So we budgeted energy conservation measures, the roofing upgrades, the lighting upgrades. We have good numbers from trusted subcontractors, and we work with Spiesel to go out, design, and bid. So when they come in under budget, we have contingency in the project, where if all those things come in under budget, then that's going to be excess funding where the district can, either use it to make the first payment, use it to do more projects, or, there's kind of a couple options there. The other thing is we modeled the project at 4% interest rate at the advice of your financial advisor. What we did by doing that is we got a rate last week of 3.5% on a similar bond-rated district. So if that comes in under to the $99,000 a year, it would go up to about $20,000 or $30,000 a year of positive cash flow. So there are protections in our plan moving forward to make sure that the savings are more than really what we're showing. That's our goal, is always to underpromise, overdeliver. But it's a good point.
Thank you, Mr. Suss. Any other questions or clarifications? Mr. Glassberg.
Thank you. Sorry, I just thought of something else that I've heard from people, and I just want to make sure that we kind of get it out there. So people have seen solar over parking lots at Rutgers. They go to the Rutgers games, they see it there. They might have read about Hackensack Meridian right next door to us here, who they are planning a parking lot solar structure. Why are we not looking at that? Right? Well, we looked at it. Why are we not planning to do that at this point?
Great question. Those were done at a different time. So there was something called the Solar Renewable Energy Credits from the state of New Jersey. It's SREX 2 is what they're in right now. So solar providers get them by the way you're able to get a 3.6 cent KWH rate is one of those streams of revenue that they pass down to the district is through those SRECs. The state incentivizes you putting it on your roof more than carports. Our understanding in talking with solar companies is so they get more SRECs, so they're able to pass those savings on down to you. The other part has really been the steel tariffs. From that standpoint is we had a couple alternative bids in past projects, and the rates came in 8 to 10 cents higher than what you got. So even taking into account the roofing costs, it's still financially most advantageous to put it on your roof because those energy savings from the solar is going to get you the best rate. That's the pure, simple answer. It's going to give you the lowest possible rate, better than a carport will at this point.
Thank you. And in terms of the timeline, you have up to the design award portion in June. What would be the rough timeline after that for installation and everything?
Yeah, so we would need to, we would obviously coordinate with Spiesel, but so if we just say we close June 1st on financing, I would expect this project to be done by next school year, by next fall, 27, right?
20. By the beginning of next school year?
Fall 27. Sorry, I was doing my math late at night. Yeah, so before, so I'd say 12 to 18 months, so I would say by December 31st would absolutely be the latest, but our goal is to do most of the work as soon as we can this year, and then anything like rooftop units summer next year.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Glassberg, it might be worth noting, unlike this past school construction, there won't be the closures of entrances, rerouting of cars, that there will be should be no interference at all with access to the schools.
No, correct. Yeah, so after this, right, you approve it, we'll come sit down, we'll have a turnover meeting with Dr. Caputo, Mr. Harvier, Brian, and the administration, and we really map out. So we'll come in with overhead shots, work with the trailers, when can we be on site, when can't we be on site. So we submit a construction plan to you and an implementation schedule, and it's really us asking for permission to make sure we can be where we say we're gonna be, and then you give feedback based on when we can be on site, when we can't. Our projects are really more retrofit. Spiesel coordinated a massive referendum with additions. This is we're replacing existing lights. We're putting panels up on the roof, racking systems on the roof, rooftop units on the roof. So we're not anticipating that level of disruption. But we 90% of what we do is with K-12 school districts in New Jersey. So we're very comfortable coordinating this aspect of it.
Great question, Mr. Suss. Thanks for getting that out into the public. Thank you for your answer, Mr. Burns. Mr. Bott.
Thank you so much. One last question.
Yes, sir.
For me, is it purely for education and decision-making information? Are you able to share any of the assumptions behind the models that you used to help develop these numbers for scenario 1 and scenario 2? Are you able to provide any of those assumptions or context, just so we can understand? It may help with the decision, it may help with communication and context setting for the community.
100%. Yeah, so this document where we're talking about the energy savings plan, so it shows everything we evaluated that's included and not included. It has our calc, so it's a public document. So once it's approved, and we could send it out, we don't have final approval by the Board
Sure.
of Public Utilities, but once that gets approved, it's actually, the BPU requires it goes on the school district's website.
Awesome.
We can send that to you ahead of
All the
time.
assumptions.
We can send you the link. It is an extensive document, I'll be honest, but it has everything of how we got there, the calcs we have to use, the comments from the third-party reviewer. It
Awesome.
has everything in there detailed.
That would be great.
Yeah,
Thank
no
you.
problem at all. Also, make sure Mr. Harvier gets it, has it in the morning to send out as needed. Yeah.
Great question. Thank you. Any other questions? Good humans? Yes, Ms.
Sorry, one more
Zimmerman.
clarifying question. So you're saying the project will take about 12 to 18 months from start to finish. So then for the 2026-27 school year, would we see the benefit of that, of the solar panels in terms of our energy costs, or not until 27-28?
So for solar specifically, it's going to depend upon how quick. So I mean, we talked with Christine and Steve from Spiesel. So the first order of action would be to get the design for the roofings done and bid, because the roofs have to be done first. Roofs have to be done in certain conditions in terms of temperature. I'd say you may see some in the 26-27. Our goal is to get the system turned on as soon as possible, but most likely, I'd say you're probably, we call it permission to operate, PTO. That means the utility company, PSE&G, said, yes, you can turn it on. I'd say more around the July, August of 27 is probably a little more realistic. But again, it comes down to roofing, bidding, and install is going to be the delay, because we'll have the solar company under contract pretty shortly here. They'll do design, structural analysis, stuff like that.
Okay.
But I'd say next budget, realistically. Yeah.
They're not going to be able to hear
No
on the
one can
public,
hear
so
you.
if you, would you mind coming up there
to
for
the
a
mic?
moment? I know you didn't want to, I don't think, but.
So we put together a tentative schedule for the district to review, and we were focused on the building envelope this summer, so that you would see some savings from that right away, and the lighting retrofit, because those are straightforward projects, and we did already, in the referendum project, look at the roof recoding, so we can repackage that and get that out fairly quickly to bid. And then for next summer, it would be the HVAC units, and the solar would follow along right after the roofing.
Thank you. That's helpful. Any other questions? This has been very helpful. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity. Appreciate it. Have a great night.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. All right. Good humans. It says reports. It says me. No, thank you.
No report
Dr.
from me.
Caputo.
No report from me.
All right, and we turn over to Mr. Glassberg, Chair of Construction. I feel like a lot of this was in there, but, go for it.
Yeah, I'll be real brief on that part. Last night we met with the construction committee that was open to the public. We had an overview of all 4 schools from our professionals. The gym at the high school is open. Classrooms and second floor work is finishing up, and there's a potential move in there of around later next week. And then the cafeteria addition to our side here is being retrofitted. That'll take a few more weeks. Edgar's on to punch list items. They have their working sign outside, and then there'll be some landscaping to reassess in the springtime, which feels like today.
Which is almost
yes.
there.
At Campbell, they're down to some punch list items as well. There's some interior door work to take place over spring break. At Moss, there'll be a top course asphalt and striping and landscaping over spring break. Interior courtyard also needs some completion, and cafeteria flooring. But within about 2 weeks, there could be a temporary occupancy order there where we can use that space. Then the meeting was open to the public. A resident who lives near Moss School presented some concerns. He discussed the lighting in the parking lot, and we are looking at things that might mitigate the lighting there, and the timing that the lights go off. He discussed landscaping, which was already in our project, of course, and that's coming soon. And there was a request for screening on the fence to protect the view from headlights and child behaviors. And then he also wanted possible painting of the HVAC unit. So we're getting quotes on some of these different things. We're seeing what we could reasonably do. Then we went into the closed session where we had an ESIP presentation to the committee. It is basically what you heard here tonight. I will reinforce something that Mr. Suss pointed out a few minutes ago, which is that this is a zero-cost opportunity for the district to finance building improvements through energy savings without having a tax increase in order to do it over the period of time. All right, and then that was basically the end of the meeting. Then we went to shoot a few hoops in the new gym, and then we went home.
Glad that you were enjoying the new space. Thank you so much. And correct me if I'm wrong, folks, but I believe that construction was the only meeting that took place since our last meeting. Fantastic. Our student board member is not present today, so at this time, I open us up to old business. All right, seeing none, any new business from the board? Seeing none, we're rocking on. I move to approve the February 24th, 2026 minutes for the special business meetings 1 and 2 and the board meeting. Is there a second? Dr. Spigner.
Oh, no, I can't.
Just kidding,
Sorry.
you were not here.
Just kidding.
Mr.
I did read it,
Suss. You approve of what you read. Mr. Suss, any comments or questions on the minutes? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Bott.
Yes.
Ms. Cheatham.
Yes.
Mr. Derflinger.
I abstain.
Thank you. Mr. Glassberg.
Yes.
Dr. Johnson Marcus.
Yes.
Dr. Spigner.
Abstain.
Mr. Suss.
Yes.
Ms. Zimmerman.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you so much. I would gesture to this empty room. There is no public here. It is 9:49, so I'm closing that section of the meeting. On to the recommendation of the superintendent of schools. Oftentimes, it may appear to members of our audience that the Board of Education takes action with very little comment, and in many cases, a unanimous vote. Before a matter is placed on the agenda at a public meeting, the administration has thoroughly reviewed the matter with the superintendent of schools. If the superintendent is satisfied that the matter is ready to be presented to the Board of Education, it is then referred to the appropriate board committee. The members of the board committee work with administration and the superintendent to assure that the members fully understand the matter. When the committee is satisfied with the matter, it is presented to the Board of Education for discussion before any final action is taken. Only then is it placed on the agenda for action at a public meeting. At this time, I'd like to move personnel items A1 through A5. Is there a second? Mr. Suss, are there any questions or comments on the personnel items? Seeing none, roll call please, Mrs. Alievich.
Mr. Bott.
Yes.
Ms. Cheatham.
Yes.
Mr. Derflinger.
Yes.
Mr. Glassberg.
Yes.
Dr. Johnson Marcus.
Yes.
Dr. Spigner.
Yes.
Mr. Suss.
Yes.
Ms. Zimmerman.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, thank
Dr.
you.
Johnson Marcus, before you move on, the board just accepted the retirements of 2 long-term employees, if I might.
Absolutely.
Thank you. First, we have Mulyante Ulas, who goes by Yante. She's been employed by the Metuchen Board as a custodian since 2001. She's announced her retirement effective June 30th of this year. During her tenure, Yante always came to work every day with a smile. She cherishes the hard work she does to make the building clean and safe for the students, staff, and administration, and use in learning experiences. Her smile and dedication to her craft will be greatly missed. Enjoy your retirement, Yanti. It's well deserved.
Wonderful. Congratulations.
And second, item number 1, the board accepted the retirement of Megan Jenny. Tonight we recognize Megan Jenny and thank her for her dedicated service to our students. As an RTI literacy instructor, Megan brought a deep understanding of literacy development and a thoughtful, data-informed approach to her work. She consistently used student data to identify needs, target instruction, and ensure that children who needed support the most received the attention and strategies necessary to grow as readers and writers. Through her expertise, collaboration with colleagues, and commitment to student success, Megan has helped strengthen literacy instruction and supported many students in building the skills and confidence they need to thrive. Megan, thank you for your dedication and the positive impact you've had in the lives of many students. We wish you all the best in the next chapter ahead.
Wonderful. Congratulations to them both on their retirement. All right. Thank you. At this time, I turn to Mr. Stuss to move our finance items.
Yes, I'd like to move items B1 through B5 as listed on the agenda.
Wonderful. Is there a second? Mr. Glassberg, are there any questions or comments? Ms. Zimmerman.
On item B3, I just wanted clarification. This is just for Edgar and Campbell busing for the next academic year, and that Moss will be handled separately. Is that correct?
Mr. Harvey?
Yeah, that's correct. We're renewing our contract with Dapper for Campbell and Edgar, and then we're going out to bid within the next couple of weeks for Moss.
Great. So we'll vote on that separately at a later date.
Yep.
Thank you.
Great question. Thank you so much, Ms. Zimmerman. Any other questions or comments on the finance items? All right, seeing none, roll call please, Mrs. Alievich.
Mr. Bott.
Yes.
Ms. Cheatham.
Yes.
Mr. Derflinger.
Yes.
Mr. Glassberg.
Yes.
Dr. Johnson Marcus.
Yes.
Dr. Spigner.
Yes.
Mr. Suss.
Yes.
Ms. Zimmerman.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Wonderful. Thank you. Dr. Spigner, policy.
Yes, I'd like to move items C1 through C3 as listed on the agenda, please.
Wonderful. Is there a second? Mr. Bott, are there any questions or comments on the policy items? Seeing none, roll call please, Mrs. Alievich.
Mr. Bott.
Yes.
Ms. Cheatham.
Yes.
Mr. Derflinger.
Yes.
Mr. Glassberg.
Yes.
Dr. Johnson Marcus.
Yes.
Dr. Spigner.
Yes.
Mr. Suss.
Yes.
Ms. Zimmerman.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Wonderful. Thank you. Mr. Derflinger.
Thank you. I'd like to move items D1 and 2 as listed on the agenda, please.
Wonderful. Is there a second? Oh, my goodness. Dr. Spigner. Any questions or comments on the curriculum items? Seeing none, roll call please, Mrs. Alievich.
Mr. Bott.
Yes.
Ms. Cheatham.
Yes.
Mr. Derflinger.
Yes.
Mr. Glassberg.
Yes.
Dr. Johnson Marcus.
Yes.
Dr. Spigner.
Yes.
Mr. Suss.
Yes.
Ms. Zimmerman.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Wonderful. Thank you. At this time, I will open and close the public section of the meeting. Is that okay? I think that's okay. All right. Ms. Zimmerman, announcements, please.
All right. We'll wrap it up. Moss on Thursday, Thursday the 12th, the Fun Bus is coming for the preschool students, so they can enjoy that at school. Tuesday, April 7th, is the Be Great Assembly for all of Moss School. They're going to be using magic and storytelling to help students learn about responsibility and respect and being good citizens. Campbell Spring X is coming up on Friday, March 27th. International Night at Edgar is also coming up this Thursday, March 12th. The PTC would like to tell everyone that tickets are on sale for their annual spring fundraiser, May 8th, 7 p.m. So you can see the flyers on their website for information. On the calendar, we have parent-teacher conferences coming up next week on Wednesday and Thursday, March 18th and 19th, and early dismissal days as well. And the next Board of Education meeting is Tuesday, March 24th.
Thank you so much. One quick addition. It is the early dismissal are the 18th, 19th, and 20th. I remember being surprised by that the first time. I was like, whoa, what? Why are you coming home already? So thank you for that reminder. This time I'd like to move to adjourn the meeting. Is there a second? Mr. Bott. All in favor? That's everybody. Have a wonderful night, everyone.